Evangelium. Evangelium is a daily devotional brought to you by Declaration Missionaries. Broadcasts from the Guadalupe Studios, Colbison, Yaoundé, Cameroon. Produced by Publicaciones Claritiane.
Monday, 16th of January 2023. Today, we celebrate the feast of Saint FURSA. First reading. A reading from the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 5, verses 1 to 10. Every high priest has been taken out of mankind and is appointed to act for men in their relations with God, to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. And so he can sympathize with those who are ignorant or uncertain, because he too lives in the limitations of weakness. That is why he has to make sin offerings for himself as well as for the people. No one takes this honor on himself, but each one is called by God, as Aaron was. Nor did Christ give himself the glory of becoming high priest, but he had it from the one who said to him, "You are my son, today I have become your father." And in another text, "You are a priest of the order of Melchizedek, and forever." During his life on earth, he offered up prayer and entreaty, aloud and in silent tears, to the one who had the power to save him out of death, and he submitted so humbly that his prayer was heard. Although he was son, he learned to obey through suffering, but having been made perfect, he became for all who obey him the source of eternal salvation, and was acclaimed by God with the title of High Priest of the Order of Melchizedek. The Word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Psalm 109. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. The Lord's revelation to my master: sit on my right, your foes I will put beneath your feet. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. The Lord will wield from Zion your scepter of power. Rule in the midst of all your foes. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. A prince from the day of your birth on the holy mountains. From the womb before the dawn, I begot you. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. The Lord has sworn an oath he will not change. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. You are a priest forever, a priest like Melchizedek of old. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 2, verses 18 to 22. One day, when John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting, some people came to Jesus and said to him, "Why is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not?" Jesus replied, "Surely the bridegroom's attendants would never think of fasting while the bridegroom is still with them. As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they could not think of fasting. But the time will come for the bridegroom to be taken away from them, and then on that day they will fast. No one sews a piece of unshrunken cloth on an old cloak. If he does, the patch pulls away from it, the new from the old, and the tear gets worse. And nobody puts new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is lost, and the skins too. No, new wine, fresh skins." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Change is not always easy, and sometimes is resistant to time. Often, the fear of change makes us cling to our customs, traditions, and social laws that determine our worldviews and actions. However, Jesus once again confronts the Pharisees with new teachings about the non-observance of fasting by his disciples. He calls us to do something new instead of living according to our old ways. What are the important changes to make in our lives? What are the old habits we need to drop? May the Lord give us the grace to become guests at His wedding.
This has been Evangelium from the Guadalupe Studios, Colbison, Yaoundé, Cameroon. For more information, prayers and counseling, contact 00237 6944 38209. Proclaim the good news and remain blessed.